Hey gamers, it's Birdman Vegan Future. V-Gun. And I'm going to give you my top 25 games of all time, and I want you to leave your favorites in the comments. Now, we're going to start at number 1. Joking. We're going to work backwards to keep the suspense. Number
25
is this game, just because it's so much fun. You can take a guess. It is the Just Cause series, where you get to fly planes, ride motorcycles, both things I do in real life. I have a pilot's license, I have a motorcycle and dirt bike, but you get to do all those crazy things, blow things up. It's just fun, just because it's fun and pure chaos. You get to take over dictators' territories in a cool open world, blowing up their dictator statues. Next up
24
is this game. You should know. It's Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Yes, Punch-Out. If your mother says, stop playing the games, go get some exercise outside, say, I'm playing Punch-Out with motion controls on the Nintendo Wii. Motion controls, so inventive, inspiring, so many types of games. Punch-Out is the next. Next up,
23
23 is this. F-Zero from the Nintendo. It inspired games like Redout, anti-grav type games as Redout, as well as the Trackmania series, which is just pure fun roller coaster type tracks where you're doing loops, spins, twists, and everything you can think of. Trackmania was inspired by games like F-Zero, Grip series like Twisted Metal, Racing Combat, but really good environments. And then F-Zero even inspired alternative sport type games like the MXGP series, which is more of a sim though, but it inspired alternative games, and the steep winter sport games. Next up
22
is this crap. Need for Speed from PlayStation 1. Yes, it's pixelated and it looks horrible, but it was fun. It was a good balance between arcade and sim. You got to step in a Lamborghini, Lotus, all types of expensive cars that you can only dream of affording. Need for Speed. This is Hot Pursuit, where the police chase you. And it inspired sims like Project Cars, F1 series, the Dirt series, which are definitely great sims. MotoGP, if you like motorcycles and ride in real life, or you ever wanted to without taking the risk, MotoGP. The Ride series, where you're riding on scenic back roads. Next up,
number 21
this guy, you should know him. Take a guess. Is Hitman, the guy with the barcode, Agent 47, the barcode on the back. This is a spin-off game where you, on a phone, where you got to pick people off in a random order to make sure they don't spot the bodies. But it was the first game where you get to take people's costumes and wear them, anything from a police officer to a chef to a clown. It was such an inspiring game and inspirational game to other series like Alkine's Gun, which is based off the chess Alkine. And this is an older Hitman game, and this is where you're a chef in Chinatown. And it inspired loosely games like Escapist. Next up is real-time strategy and turn-based. Number
20
is the XCOM series, but it's also more about turn-based and real-time strategy, not just XCOM. It inspired indies like Crooks the Big Heist, a retro 80s theme, very good game where you have different abilities with different characters. Shadow Tactics, where you're a ninja, stealth-based Commandos, which is real-time strategy and stealth. And next up,
number 19
is this pixelated stuff. It's tactical combat. Rainbow Six series, if you didn't guess, New Vegas, breaking into windows and tactical attacks. And it inspired indies like the awesome Door Kickers, Rainbow Six series. Even inspired games like Payday 2 loosely, where you're robbing banks. Next up,
number 18
made prosthetics cool. Yes, a handicap can actually be cool. DSX, sci-fi, awesome game, good theme, good story. DSX, they actually had the story was about Augs and how augmented people were hated by natural people. So it actually had a good story. And they have a natural restroom or services, as well as Augs, kind of like racism and such, and what we do with gays today. And it inspired games like Watch Dogs, where you're hacking everything, bridges, cars, and everything. So DSX is one of the most inspirational games. And Quantum Break with sci-fi bullet time. Next up,
17
stealing bicycles? Grand Theft Bikes? No. Grand Theft Auto, just a cool open world where you can do anything, make your own adventure, and just had all sorts of quality gameplay, riding planes, dirt bikes, riding the ocean in a boat, just such a fun game, and real good open worlds. It's made by Rockstar, who made Red Dead Redemption, where you're a hillbilly killing everything. And they also made the Bully series, where you do pranks in school and fun stuff. Just a good series, Bully, made by Rockstar. Next
Number 16.
is this small picture. It's Far Cry. Far Cry series, cool open world. You can play any way you like, guns blazing, stealth, or whatever. And they also made the Primal, where you go back in time like a caveman, where you eat and wear animal skins like a caveman, Unga Bunga. You don't need to wear dead dogs. And it also had the funny spin-off of Blood Dragon Retro, as well as Far Cry 5 with the religious cult. Kind of makes you want to go atheist, like vegan. And it inspired games like Zero Horizon Dawn. That's the Far Cry series. Next,
15.
I'll give it away right here, is Zelda, but more of a serious Zelda type, made by Bethesda, who makes the Fallout series. Inspired games like Witcher, which won hundreds of awards. Kingdom Come Deliverance, with real medieval times type things and themes. Make you want to go to a Renaissance festival without wearing the dead animals, like cavemen. Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, was an awesome game. Next up,
14.
this sadistic monster in London in the dark streets is Dishonored, and you can be a female protagonist as well. Dishonored, such a good stealth-based game, and it inspired games, or co-inspired Bioshock, the Bioshock series. Origami is a Dishonored type game, different art style, shell shading, but different similar abilities, telepathy and such. Next up,
13.
this crazy game with brains exploding and hearts and bones breaking. Bullet Time was introduced by the Sniper Elite series minigames, copy it now, and Hunting Hitler. And the World War II themes, zombie spin-off just for fun shooting and sniping, inspired B caliber games like Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is pretty good if you like sniping, where there's a lack in that genre, lack of game options. So, Sniper Elite, one of my favorite games. Next up,
Number 12.
sneaky Sam Fisher. You should know by now. Sam Fisher used good shadows and infiltration. Is the it's the Splinter Cell series. Inspired games like Stick, Master of Shadows. Awesome game. Stealth based, but on different levels, kind of like Dishonored environments and castles and such. But Splinter Cell, also Thief, inspired the stealth based games as well. London, stealing everything in old London type environments. Thief and Splinter Cell. Next up,
Number 11.
number 11 is this pixelated stuff where they probably shouldn't have went 3D yet. It is Wolfenstein, hunting Nazis, awesome combat, first-person shooter, one of the best of its time. Inspired many games like Crysis that has more of a sci-fi. You might want to check out Homefront if you like it, with stealth, and a very underrated game, good story and plot. It inspired Call of Duty. Wolfenstein was one of the best first-person shooters. Inspired Battlefield-type games, World War I, Battlefield 1. Next up,
Top 10. Number 10.
this Castlevania. Castlevania inspired so many games. This is the more modern Konami game of Castlevania. Hack and slash. Shovel Knight, hard as nails, 2D hack and slash type platformer. God of War, hack and slash, was inspired by games like Castlevania. Dante's Inferno, yes, inspired by it. Shadow of War, where you're stabbing them in the head and you feel the vibration as you pull out the knife. Shadow of War, inspired by games like Castlevania. Devil May Cry, Shadow Warrior 2, Dead Cells, more modern day twist but retro feel. Rogue Legacy, hard as nails, but it's a game like Castlevania. Next up,
Number 9.
the Arkham series, awesome combat. Obviously, it was given away. You didn't need to guess once you've seen the costumes. Arkham Knight made good combat, countering, and just good stealth and gameplay. They inspired spin-offs as the Lego series and made Spider-Man get up to par. They copied them with the combat even. And other superhero games like Infamous, like vegans were infamous and hated, as well as Prototype. Next up,
Number 8.
the princess. There's a lot of princesses in games that you're trying to save. And it's Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario, family fun at all ages. On the Switch, all the way back to NES and Odyssey. Very fun, just family fun, platforming, tough sometimes. Has nice Mario Kart in with fun racing for all ages. Next up,
Number 7.
is this what scared me when I was a kid? This pixelated mess scared me when I was a kid on PS1. It is this game in a haunted mansion. Not really haunted, but eating corpses and gross stuff. I don't eat or wear animals. Yeah, I don't eat animals raw or dogs or cats, but this cannibalistic mess, cannibals eat animals, is the Resident Evil series in haunted mansions, creepy, creaking floors. It inspired games like Dead Rising, that's like Just Cause, where you're just silliness with chainsaws and running over hordes of zombies in your car and goofiness, but it's just pure fun like Just Cause. And inspired games like Dying Light with more parkour, The Last of Us, one of the best games with zombies, The Evil Within, Silent Hill, Alan Wake. Next up,
Number 6.
is this guy taking you back to every era in time with good stealth, good parkour. We can be a pirate to anyone. It is the Assassin's Creed series. Great game, one of my favorites of all time. Great environments, great open worlds, great stealth. Medieval times, every era, go back in time. Just an amazing series with lots of entries, so it's high up there. And even have the Chronicles, which is a 2D based stealth game like Mark of the Ninja. Check that out if you like it. So I'm giving other suggestions. And this is Black Flag, where you're a pirate and in boats. Next up,
5.
it's one of the most inspirational games of all time, of modern era actually, that inspired so many great games, and it is Portal. The Portal series inspired so many games, make you think, puzzle games. So anytime someone says all games are violent, your mother says they're all violent, just shooting people. No, Portal is pure brain power and makes you sharper. It inspired games like Cube 2, Qube, The Witness, a nice open world with so many puzzles. The Talos Principle, yes, I wouldn't eat or wear this animal neither, or any animal, a chick or whatever. The Talos Principle, solving all these intricate puzzles with laser lights. It inspired even games like Sherlock Holmes, where you're investigating and look at people's facial expressions for hints. Limbo, a 2D platformer. Braid, where you're manipulating time just like Replay. VHS is Not Dead, a great indie game that's underrated. The Room was inspired by Portal. The Turing Test even has similar themes and scenery as Portal. Rethink, Mag Runner, Dark Pulse, all inspired by Portal. One of the most inspirational games of modern era. A little darker theme here, but Portal. Next up,
Number 4.
is this pixelated mess. She even has pointy boobs. Is Tomb Raider. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Temple of Horus. This is a nice spin-off with good puzzles. It's an adventure game for all ages where you're solving puzzles and raiding tombs and such. Uncharted actually copied them, the Uncharted Drake Fortune series. And there's some combat stealth, we're using bows and crafting, if you like crafting and RPGs. And this is Uncharted, which copied them. A good adventure game, though. There's enough room in the genre for 2. Next up,
Number 3.
is this one of my favorites from NES era. Metal Gear. If you didn't guess by now, stealth redefined. Very inventive for its time, all the way to Phantom Pain today. And it inspired indies like Volume. And Ghost Recon, where you use sync shooting, tactical, where you have teammates and you sync shooting and such. Very tactical. Next up,
Number 2.
the Mother Brain. Metroid, one of my favorites of all times. Metroid Trilogy, Prime 4 coming out on Switch soon. Axiom Verge, a nice indie game made by one person, isn't a good spin-off of it. If you like Metroid, check out Axiom Verge, Owlboy, Lightly, and Ori and the Blind Forest is another good dungeon crawler, Metrovania style game. Next up is
Number 1.
Did we go from 4 to 1? Oh well. Number 1 is Zelda, The Legend of Zelda. Such a good, fun game. It's my favorite game of all time. This was supposed to come up first, so you had a guess, but you probably would have known from that image. Just great open world, great adventures, great puzzles, and everything. And this is from the Wii. And you can see the evolution from Breath of the Wild. I like the old style, and this is even copy spin-offs. Little Do 2, It'll Do 2, Sword of Ditto. You might want to check out if you like Zelda. Blossom Tales, another good Zelda retro style. Here's someone that collects all the Zelda games from 3DS to Wii to NES. Oceanhorn, another spin-off of it. Oceanhorn, Monsters of the Sea. Check that out if you like it. There's another collector. Oceanhorn again. And now I'm going to give you a bonus, my top indie games, really quick. This game, if you never scuba dived before, it is the coolest things. I've flown, I've skydived, I ride motorcycles. Scuba diving is the coolest thing. You can see my shirt. Say no to pot, says the lobster. Yeah, don't boil the lobsters alive. This is not really a sim, but it is an awesome game. Subnautica. Great indie game. Next is Mark of the Ninja. Running with rifles, army men type game with squads. Not Contra. That's Contra from NES, but Broforce. We get to use all these different type of characters in destructible environments. You can dig way under them, blow things up. Use all these different characters with different abilities. Check out Broforce if you like Contra style. And then this game, take a guess. Trine. Beautiful environments. Kids of all ages scroll through 3 different type of characters with different abilities. A mage, a ninja, and such. And great colorful environments. Awesome graphics. Is Trine. Check that out. And my favorite of all time of indie games, Rocket League, soccer with cars. So awesome. Just check it out. Pure fun, as well as Door Kickers, as I mentioned earlier, with Rainbow Six. So that's it. My top 25 games of all time. Please share yours. Check out a factory farm and fur farm video. Vegan is the future. Birdman Vegan Future. Look up a factory farm video. Meatvideo.com. Stop sucking. Go vegan. You don't need to rape animals and drink their bodily fluids. Vegan is the future. Birdman Vegan Future. And please control human population. Humans are overpopulated. Look up a factory farm video. Meatvideo.com and meat.org. Thank you.